It's Friday the 21st of July, and last April lots of people in Rawns and Stanwick in East Northamptonshire were very angry. The reason? The decision by the District Council to grant planning permission for two giant warehouses. But on the other side of the argument, the one which persuaded the councillors, was that the extension to Worth Park should create around 350 jobs and see more than 200 other workers transferred from Northampton. The warehouses are due to be used by the Howdens kitchen supply business. Well, now local people who've been fighting the plans are seeking a judicial review into the council's decision. In a moment I'll talk to one of the campaigners, but first, here's a taste of the local feeling that evening in April after that crucial planning meeting.
This is a heritage area lost forever. Lost forever. It's a valley. It's an ancient bridleway. It's adjoining the Roman road. And it's just to be destroyed for just a few people to earn money. That's all it's about.
I think the decision they've made is wrong, it's unfortunate, and it is going to be a tremendous blight on the face of Rawns.
They have ignored entirely the village of Stanwick. I am absolutely terrified at the effect it's going to have on our local environment.
Well, the judicial review that is going to be held is an attempt to get a High Court judge to overturn the council decision. June Longhurst is from the Stop Worth Park Action Group. She has a small holding just 40 metres away from the edge of the planned new development. What do you keep there, June? What do you do with that land?
Good morning, Stuart. Yes, I have a small holding, mainly sheep. I have a pedigree flock of Beltex. And I do have chickens and supply eggs to locals. And we also have some competition sport horses.
So sheep, horses and chickens. Now, you say there are two grounds for flawed decision-making by the councillors. What are those grounds?
Well, I was actually obviously at that meeting on the 29th, and I found what was being said very disturbing. Now, I'm a layperson, but I thought this cannot be correct. Some of the interpretations and things that were said were as I say, highly disturbing. And I sought after finding a solicitor. Luckily, we've achieved the best in the country who specialises purely on planning and eco matters. And on a cursory look at the transcript, he found numerous things that were unlawful that happened during that meeting. And it's on that basis, taking the two major concerns, which was no regard for the neighbourhood plan and the constant referral to the amount it would cost the council for a failed appeal.
Right, and talking...
Those are major topics.
Yes, OK. Now, talking of costs, fighting your case in court can be expensive, and you've given yourselves a deadline of tomorrow to raise, I think it's an initial £6,000, isn't it? How's that going?
Well, the good news, Stuart, is we have succeeded. We've raised the £6,000, and we're now on a stretch for £10,000, which means that all those people that are still putting in, their money will still count, because, as you said, taking this kind of legal action is very expensive.
Your phone broke up slightly when you told me the next amount you need. How much was that?
The stretch is now 10,000.
10,000.
We are secured because we've reached the 6,000 target.
Right.
We will get all the money. So
right. Okay.
Just that there's still people putting in to the fund. People that have been on holiday or been waiting to get paid or whatever.
Sure.
And they are still putting in. It's amazing because it's a small town, Rawns, and the village of Stanwick is even smaller. And we have so much support. It's really, it's really heartwarming.
Now, of course, you've got to go to the High Court first, or the High Court at least still has to decide if there is a case strong enough for judicial review. Briefly, when do you expect that decision to be made?
Well, we're not too sure because I think there is still another week for the reply, initial reply from East Northampton solicitors, and then I think obviously the judge will review our reasoning and obviously their reply, and hopefully we will go through to be looked at in a proper court.
Okay, 2 brief answers if I could from you, Ju, because time is against us. Question 1, you're not persuaded by this boost to local business and to employment, 350 new jobs, 200 more relocated from Northampton. That doesn't persuade you it's a good idea?
No, because the claim when they attempted to do this in Northampton, which was turned down, was 650 jobs. They started to claim that initially, and that has gradually gone down. And warehousing is not high employment. Warehousing is mostly now computerised. So for the size of building, there'll be very little employment.
All right, June. One final question. If it does go ahead, what happens to your sheep, your horses and your chickens?
This is terrifying. I don't know, because next, as I say, 40 yards, 27 yards at one end, they're building the valley up 20 metres, putting the shed on top of that. It's something like 125-foot tower in the whole length of my land. The light pollution will definitely affect the breeding of my sheep. They need circadian rhythm. So the noise, the pollution of 800 lorry movements is going to be terrifying. So I just don't know.
June, thank you for talking to us this morning. June Longhurst from the Stop Worth Park Action Group. The challenge, if it goes ahead, the court action will challenge the way East Northamptonshire Council reached its decision, as you heard. We asked the council for comment. They've sent us a statement. It says, we've been informed that a request for a judicial review of the Worth Park planning application decision has been submitted. We cannot comment any further on the nature of the review so as not to prejudice the process. We've also approached the developer Roxhill. This is us, not the council, by the way, but they've yet to return our call.
On FM.